Hello. Oh, actually, hold on. I gotta check something.
Does that thing also have like a thingy? Oh, you know what? I should use the coin when it's
Okay, I'm
okay.
good. Anyway, hi guys, I'm back. I will say that yesterday was pretty chaotic.
Oh my gosh! Wait.
Yesterday, so I'm alive. I'm just gonna say I'm alive. I'm here. So, to
So
recount events
2000.
since Wednesday.
I need to get close to heal.
Yeah,
Can
since
you
Wednesday. Oh my
put
gosh.
rock art?
So, let's see.
That is
Thursday was nothing weird in particular, just going to the car shop straight from work.
anywhere.
Um,
I was.
Friday marks the end. Like Friday was like the end of the week, starting my new position, which by the way has been going pretty well. So good stuff for that. So there was that, followed by meeting up with Ryan to get a birthday gift. So if you guys don't remember Ryan, Ryan is one of my friends that I've played some games with. There is one where I played Circle of Sumo and Who's Kyle or whatever. He's like, what is Kyle doing or whatever, that game? I don't remember. But yeah, so he caught up, and you know, we just caught up at Chinese First Barbecue, introduced him to it. He loved it, so it's good. Gave me a little like build it yourself Going Merry from One Piece, but it's like it's one of those like thin packets, but you pull out parts and you just rebuild this ship using those parts, so it's really cool. I appreciate it. So thanks Ryan for that. So yeah, there was that. Came home to a blackout. So
Okay, I'll try parry.
it's the end of the day yesterday. It's like Friday, end of the day, and I am in my room. I had just freshly taken a shower. I'm just chilling, watching YouTube on my phone. All of a sudden, the power in my house starts flickering on and off. So it goes off, and I'm like, what the fudge is going on? Like 10 seconds. Power goes back on. The pattern repeats. And then finally, after the fourth time, it's dead. Like, there is no power in my house. And I'm like, what the fudge is going on? So I end up having to sit in my car to get some AC because where I live at, oh dear lord, it is hot. So I am in my car just getting some AC, and I call the utility company. And apparently, when I called, there was like so many people calling this utility company that they couldn't give me a live representative, so it just went to an automated voicemail system. So, I do the thing, I navigate that automated voicemail system, and I get my verdict on what's going on. Which is, they don't know. So, essentially, what I was told upon receiving my answer, which was, why is there an outage in my neighborhood? Automated voicemail system says, it seems the cause is unknown. Oh, and over 4,000 of our customers are affected by this outage in your area. And I was like, 4,000? Bro, that's wild. Okay. And then they said the power should be back around 10 p.m. So, right now, well, not right now, at that moment in time, it was around 8:45 p.m., 9 p.m. And I'm just like, what the freak do I do? I kind of need to pee. Like, what do I do? So, luckily Crimson Rose came in for the rescue, because Crimson Rose was actually going to stop by my house last night to give me the shirt I let him borrow when he picked me up from the airport when I came back from Japan. There's a story behind that. But anyway, that's for a later date. So, Crimson Rose was going to, and I was just texting him, and I was just like, bro, there's an outage in my neighborhood. And it wasn't just my neighborhood. Like, when the utility company's automated voicemail box said, like, it was an outage covering the entire area, like, 4,000 customers were affected. Yeah, 4,000 customers were affected. When I left my neighborhood to go to Crimson Rose's house, like, the Aldi near me, the Walmart near me, like, every other, like, store near me was just, poof, black. I was like, oh god, like, this really did affect a lot of businesses and people. The only lights that were on in my area was, like, solar powered, I think. So, Yeah, I was just texting Crimson Rose. I was like, yeah, there's an outage. Oh my god.
Take it with me.
AC's out. Like, it's hot in the house. I don't want to be in the house. I'm in my car. So Crimson Rose offered to let me crash at his place. So I go over to his place, and I catch up with his sister, his brother, his grandma, and his parents. So it was really nice to just see them and just catch up. And I was just chilling at Crimson Rose's place. And then I let my parents know that there was an outage because I live with my parents. And they called me and asked me where I was at. I was like, I'm at Crimson Rose's house. And then I asked them, are you at the house right now? Because at this point in time, it was like 9:50 p.m. And like I said earlier, the utility company said, oh, yeah, power should be on around 10 p.m. So I asked them, like, hey, is the power on? And they're like, nah, it's not. And I'm like, okay, I'll just head back home. At least I won't be by myself in a house that doesn't have power, so... I just head out of Crimson Rose's house and I head back to my house and I fall asleep. Like, I was super tired from yesterday. I was super tired. Like, had work, followed by catching up with Ryan, followed by dealing with an outage, going to Crimson Rose's house and just chilling at his place for about an hour, and then getting back home, and I was like, I'm done, and I just fell asleep. I literally changed into my pajamas, and I fell asleep. Like, I conked out. I woke back up again around 3 a.m. in the morning, and the power was back, and I was like, oh, cool. At this moment in time, today, actually, my mom was packing up. In fact, she didn't get enough sleep today because she didn't prepare ahead of time, which she should have. But that's another story for another time. The point is, yesterday, Friday, was crazy. It was just all over the place. So yeah. Yeah, yesterday, while I was hanging out with Ryan, my parents were going to a graduation of a family friend or family member. I don't remember which. I just know that it's people I know, and they are family friends with my parents. So I remember I was at work, and my parents messaged me at like 2 p.m. and they're like, oh, yo, we're invited to this graduation. You think you can make it? And I was like, I can't. I had made plans with Ryan a week in advance. And mind you, my parents, like, specifically my mom does this where she sends me, like, she super last minute says, this is happening, will you make it? And I'm like, I can't, because I make plans ahead of time. I make them, it's weird because when I was a kid, my mom used to make plans ahead of time. And I would just do things spur of the moment. But now, the roles are slowly being reversed, where most of the time I have stuff planned in advance and my mom kind of just does it at the spur of the moment. So yeah, it was crazy. So they went to the graduation. I told them, can you send the graduates my regards? Like, I'm not going to be there because I had plans. So, and what's funny was when I was catching up with Ryan yesterday at Chinese First Barbecue, I just remember my mom just saying like, oh, all of your childhood friends are here. They wish you were here. And, like, I'm not gonna lie, guys. In my mind, I was like, what childhood friends? Like, the only two that I probably know there is the two that are graduating. I was like, listen, like, it's gotten to the point where I have to accept a reality. And the reality is, I have a bunch of family members. And I can't remember all of them. Like, as a Filipino, and this is a Filipino problem. This is like it's like other Asian archetypes. Asian archetypes have this problem. Oh shoot, what happened? Wait, hold on. VOD? Is it? What?
Guys, is it cool if I spam?
Oh, I had muted I was like, what? I didn't hear the VOD on my end, but the VOD was clearly playing. Okay, anyway. But as a Filipino, there's this thing where Filipino families get together and like, oh, that's your tito, that's your tita, that's your lolo, that's your lola, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then, like, there's a tradition where we bless people that are above us, like your aunts, your uncles, your grandpa, grandma, your parents. We basically take their hand and we put it to their forehead. It's a sign of respect in Filipino culture. And like in these family gatherings, there will be like a billion cousins. Okay, like I kid you not, and you meet them, right? In the next family gathering, they're like, oh, don't you remember? This is your tito and this is your tita. And I'm like, bro, I don't know them. I barely remember them from the first time because I was left to my own devices or like talking to the other people that were my age. Like, Like it's happened multiple times in my life, more so than I can count, where my parents bring me to a family gathering, like, don't you remember them? Like, they took care of you when you were a kid, and I'm like, bro, I don't remember them. If I was a kid and they took care of me, I'm pretty sure Kid Godfrey didn't remember either. Like, no offense, it's just there's so many family members for me to keep track of. And not only do I have tons of family members, I have a ton of friends. I'm a very social person. So it's like, and there are some people that have been offended because I don't remember them, which to them I apologize, but it's just like, I am just one person, and there's so many people. I go out there, and eventually, when I come back home, I have made 3 new friends. Like, just like, for me, like Jay Akari put it out, like one of my best friends, Jay Akari, he puts it the best way. It's like, if I say hi to you, we have instantly become friends. Like, it's not that hard to be friends with me. It's really hard to be unfriended by me. That's the thing. Like, with my friend that made the trip to Japan like the second worst vacation of my life, I am still friends with that person. And other people are like, what the fudge, dude? And I'm like, yeah, no, you're right. If I was a sane person, I would have ended that friendship then and there. But I didn't. I still want to be friends with them. It's just that their standing with me has decreased very greatly. So, yeah, no, like, bro, like, any person would have ended the friendship if they went through what I went through on my first trip to Japan. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, after talking with multiple friends about this, they're like, yeah, I would have end the deal with them there. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm too nice. Anyway, yeah, crazy stuff. So that's what my parents were doing. They were at my family friends / question mark family relatives graduation. I didn't go because I had plans. I had, like, literally, me and Ryan were supposed to meet up yesterday at 6 p.m. My mom messaged me, oh, we're invited at like 2:15 p.m. I was like, bro, I don't have, what the fudge? And it literally, she also sent me like the screenshot of the invite, and the invite says RSVP please, and I was like, did we even RSVP? I don't even know. This is in my mom's hands. My mom likes to do things like in the spur of the moment, so I'm just like, nah, I have plans. So yeah, so that was Friday, and then yeah, I dealt with a blackout. So there's that. Now today has been interesting. I had my car sent to the dealership for maintenance. It was just that time of the year, or not? The time of the year. Well, it is time of the year. Yeah, it was time of the year for oil change, essentially. And while there, they found 3 more things that need maintenance. So I was like, okay, I need to get that fixed too. And luckily, the dealership I go to, they have this like payment system with Sunbit, so you can pay things off in like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 12 months. And I didn't know this. I didn't know about this until like the last time I had my car maintenance. I was like, oh shoot, this is really cool. It makes paying for your car's maintenance affordable. Like, you can pay all of it in one go, or you can break it off into payments. Granted, like, the more payments you make, so like, for example, like 12 months, right? If you choose the 12-month plan, they add interest. But if you do the 3-month plan, which is the one I chose, it was 0% interest. It was like it's like pay in 4 with PayPal. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. So I started implementing that. I was like, I have the money, but it's like kind of split between my cards, like my debit card and credit card, and I'm like, okay, can I just do the payment plan? They're like, sure. I was like, oh, awesome. So I did the first part of the payment plan today, and then it's a monthly payment plan too, by the way. So I mean, I know I mentioned it earlier, but it's a monthly payment plan. So I did one for this month, and then I have payments for June, July, and August. So yeah, 3 payments, and they're like not that big, but I mean, it makes it affordable. Like, if you don't have all the money, you could pay for it. Not that I'm saying I don't have the money. I did have the money, but it was just like, I'd rather like split it off, because I do need I kind of need to recuperate from my trip to Japan, because I busted my budget. I'm not gonna lie, I have a spending problem. I busted my budget, like, really badly. Like, I came back to the States and I was like, oh, I'm broke. But, yeah, I got my car mains today, and that was, like, about, like, a 3 to 4 hour so originally my appointment was today at 8 a.m., but then I had to drive my parents to the airport, which I will get to later.
Sorry, I'm focused.
And after dropping my parents off at the airport, after dropping off my parents at the airport, I went home, got some lunch at Whataburger, and then like went back home and just got in my car to go to the dealership to get it maintenance at 1:30 p.m. So I had to call the dealership to reschedule my appointment this morning because my parents had a flight at freaking 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and I was like, okay, I have to drive them. There. So I drove them to the airport. Yeah. So it's really funny because today, me and my dad were supposed to do some yard work, which, fun fact about me, I hate yard work, but I was like, sure, I'll do it. I'll help you out, Dad. So when I came back from Japan, my dad literally told me in front of my mom, next Saturday you'll help me with this. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. I actually do hate yard work, but like I still do it. It's like a love-hate relationship. No, it's a tolerate-hate relationship. I don't like yard work, and there's reasons for that, but I won't get into that right now. But yeah, that was the plan. And then what was it? Freaking Sunday last week, my mom broke the news to not only my dad and me, but to my cousins at church. And she was like, "Oh, we're going to Scotland." And then I was like, "What the fuck?" If you guys didn't know, like earlier this year, my parents went on vacation. They went to like what was it? Greece? They went to Greece or something like that. I think they did. I don't remember. It's been so long. It's like, bro, it's like I'm reaching the halfway point for this year already. God, 2024 has been a roller coaster ride, I tell you. 'Cause, oh my God, it's May. Jesus. Anyway, yeah, no. My parents earlier went on vacation. They went overseas, and I went overseas. I went to Japan for 2 weeks, came back, and then literally not even like a week later, it was literally 2 days, I get the announcement from my mom that my mom and my dad will be going to Scotland. And I was like, what the fudge? That was news to me, and that was news to my dad too. But my dad is super chill and awesome, and he just rolled with the punches. He was like, I guess so. He literally was like that. Because I remember I talked to him when my mom wasn't there. I was like, you ready for Scotland? He's like, yeah. And I was like, did you know that you would be going to Scotland? And he was like, no. I was like, oh, bro. My dad is at the will of my mom. That's how it is. It's really sweet, and it's really funny. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, I drove my parents to the airport today because they're going to Scotland. They're going to be gone for a month, so I'll have the house to myself for a month. So yeah, I'm having the house to myself for a month. Whoa, yay. And I'm going to have to take care of some stuff. Like, I had, literally, when I came back from the airport from my lunch, before going to the dealership to get my car maintenance, I had to plug up a hole at the front of the house. So in the front of my house, there's like there's the lights at the garage. It was at the garage, and there's like the driveway. There's like lights, and there's those cameras, because we have security cameras to help us protect ourselves from like robbers and stuff. Like we have all these things to prevent our house from being broken into and like have our stuff being stolen. I have weapons, so I have them readily available in my room in case someone comes in. I'm being serious. So like yeah, so yeah, when I got home at the driveway, I looked up at the rampart, I guess is a word, I don't remember. It was like little part, there's like the roof area, and like right above one of the lights, there was a hole, and I was like, oh, I think my dad was in the middle of doing something, and there's a gaping hole. Now the problem is that there's a gaping hole. It's about like this big right here, and it's on the bottom of the roof protrusion or extrusion. And the thing is that's a problem because like wasps can make their nest in there. Small animals like squirrels and stuff and birds can go in there and make a nest in there, which could mess with the wiring of some of the security cameras and stuff. And I was like, oh shoot. So in the 10 minutes between me getting home from Whataburger and then going to the dealership, I whipped out my dad's tools and I drilled a piece of wood just to close that gap. So the gap is closed. It's held up by 3 screws. Because when I screwed in the 4th one, it didn't, like... It would, like... I didn't align the wood, so part of the wood was not on the extrusion. So basically, there are 3 screws holding it up. One of the screws is on it, but it's not screwed into the extrusion as well. So, if that made sense. It was, poof. And then I just hurried up. I changed my shirt because I was sweating. Put some Axe or whatever, put some deodorant on, and went to the dealership. So, yeah, but yeah, when I dropped off my parents at the airport, now this is a story, and I got upset about this. Love you, parents! So, as I just dropped them off, we had a little picture to oh, my parents are going and stuff. I need to post it on Instagram. For the gram! Anyway, so, as I was coming back, what is it? Yeah, I get a call from my mom, and I'm halfway home. Or halfway to Whataburger. And my mom was like, oh, I left my coat in the car. And I was like, bro, are you serious? So I had to pull out of the highway, check inside to see if my mom left her coat there. Realized she did, and I had to drive back to the airport through the toll gates and deliver the coat to them. And it's like, oh, bro, for real? Because, like, when you, like, at the airport, there's, like, toll gates, and you get a ticket, and you have to pay when you leave. I paid $4 instead of $2 because I had to give my mom her black coat. I was like, come on! Like, back to what I was saying, when my mom was awake, when I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning, and my mom was just awake, yeah. So, my mom did not pack ahead of time, so she literally spent the entire night, like, till the morning of today, packing for Scotland. And so I wouldn't be surprised if she's missing a couple things, because she really waited until the very, very last moment to pack for Scotland. And I'm just like... And then my dad was telling me, oh yeah, she has plans to go to, like, Singapore later this year too, after we come back from Scotland. And I'm like, bro, oh my god. Like, she's trying to get as much. I'm also, a fun fact, I don't know if I mentioned it on stream, but I am planning to treat my parents to Japan. And my aunt. I plan to take my aunt too, for a cherry blossom viewing season. So, yeah, in Japan. I have enough experience in Japan. I have enough experience traveling through Japan that I feel somewhat confident to take care of my parents while in Japan, and I feel like Japan is very accommodating for people their age. Like I said, my dad is like 73, my mom's like 69 years younger than, like 64. My parents are old, and my aunt is like 83 now. What? Like, my aunt, if she lives in the Philippines, and if you look at her, she does not look like she's 83. She looks like she is in her 60s. It's that Asian gene, I tell you. But yeah, I really do want to bring my parents to Japan, and just, take them there, because like the food there, it's just like generally very accommodating, and just want to bring them to Japan. My plan is to pay for everything. Oh, it's gonna be so expensive. I gotta save up, but not yet, because I have Anime Expo to deal with. So yeah, I I have a fun story about that one too. Oh my god, I have to save up for Anime Expo. So, fun fact, Anime Expo this year is July 4th to the 7th. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go because Anime Expo is fun. I enjoy the atmosphere. I love Anime Expo. I like going to California for these types of events. I necessarily would not go to California for vacation. Actually, I take that back. I would. There's some good food. I'm just saying. Like, Little Tokyo, pretty cool. Chinatown, Koreatown. Hey, man, they got the food on point over there. But anyway, I made an oopsie. So in February, I had booked a room, and I booked it for the wrong dates.
I don't know if
originally it was like about like a little. It was like it was like $2,600. It was $2,600, and I'm like, ooh. I was like, I want to be comfortable when I go to Anime Expo, and I want easy access to the Los Angeles Convention Center. I am getting a room at the JW Marriott. I am. It's going to happen. And I invited some friends. I invited, I invited 3 of my friends, and then, 4 of my friends. No, 3 of them. The reason why I say 4 is because we have another person joining, but they are a volunteer at Anime Expo, and I was like, feel free to room with us, because it'll be easy for you to navigate downtown LA to get to the Los Angeles Convention Center, plus you won't have to go through some weird ways to get to your hotel, because the JW Marriott Live is literally next to the Los Angeles Convention Center. So I'm just like, I'm gonna make sure to get that. So I did. I booked it. So the past couple of weeks when I came back from Japan, I started checking my booking with the Marriott, and it turns out that I had booked the wrong dates. Because originally I thought, oh, Anime Expo July 30th to the 4th like last year. No, I was severely mistaken. I was wrong. This year it's July 4th to the 7th, and I had booked the Marriott from June 30th to July 4th. So, alright. Let me, and I already told my friends the split for it. It's like, oh, it's gonna be like $500 each, you know. I already told them the split, and one of them had already paid me. The other one said they would pay me slowly, and and one of them said they would pay me next Thursday. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So this week, I went through the booking, and I realized it was wrong, so I had to rebook it. I rebooked it 3 times. Yes, I rebooked it 3 times. So, the first time it was like, oh, because it's the one that I made in February. And I'm like, oh, wrong dates, my bad. Alright, booked it again. I am so glad one of my friends pointed out that I had booked it for the wrong dates. Because I had booked it in June. I couldn't read, apparently. Because June and July, the only difference is the last 2 letters. The first 2 letters are the same. So, I ended up doing June 4th to the 7th. And I was like, yeah, so... what happened was originally, it was, a $500 split. And then I accidentally booked it from June 3rd to the 7th. And it went down in price. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. It, like, splits $300. Friend pointed out that's wrong. I was like, oh. And then I then rebooked it again. And I was like, alright. And, oh boy. Man, JW Marriott Live knows what's up because of Anime Expo. Yeah, no, the price went from, literally between these bookings went from $2,600 to like $1,200, yeah, $2,600 to like $1,200 to $5,000. I haven't told my friends yet. And if the one person I know that watches my streams sees this, they're gonna be like, Godfred. I'm like, nah, don't worry, I'll pay for the bulk of it. Because I went back, I was like, oh, it's actually $500 splits, but I'll be paying for the bulk of it. Mainly because it was my fault. I need to take responsibility for it. And yeah, so I could do it. I just have to be stingy with money. Because I was like, oh, I am dead set on having that room for Anime Expo. I'm dead set. I am going to be stingy with my money. I did the calculations for the costs for how I'm going to be spending for the next this month and next month, so that way I can be able to cover the heavy hotel expense that I have incurred on myself. But yeah, I fixed it. Oh yeah, I didn't say the 3rd time. So I booked it. So like I said, I booked it from June 30th to July 4th. I was wrong. Then I booked it from June 3rd to June 7th. I was wrong again. And then, because of my friend, I rebooked it July 4th to the 7th. Realized, wait a minute, that's not right. That can't be. Because I need to get there a day before so I can be ready to wake up and go start Anime Expo. Because Anime Expo starts off early in the morning, July 4th. So I'm like, oh, that's right. I need to go there July 3rd, so I'm ready to go into the con July 4th. So I was like, okay, I have to do the July 3rd one. So I had to book it a third time, and it's correct. I've been double checking it. July 3rd to the 7th. So 4 nights, because it's a 4-day con. And lucky for me, my job considers 2 floating holidays for the 4th of July weekend. So I legit have a 4-day weekend.
Wait, what happened? Did we win?
It's good. It's good stuff, but I've incurred debt and death on me, so I gotta be careful how I spend money moving forward up until Anime Expo and I can be done. Oh, update on my anime panel that I mentioned I would have this year, when I mentioned earlier this year. So, yeah, I finally submitted an application while in Japan, and they responded by telling me to fill out this Google form that they sent me, like a link to the Google form. Filled it out. I haven't seen or heard a response about it, so the odds of me having an anime panel, my first ever anime panel at Anime Fest, is probably not going to happen. So, and that's due to like me not getting on top of the ball because I was so unproductive about it. But I would love to do it if I can. But yeah, crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So yeah. I have put so much pressure on myself to have my first anime panel, like my first panel at an anime convention, and I gotta come up with the funds to be able to cover that heavy hotel cost. I am not budging on that. I'm getting that hotel. I'm going to get it, and if I don't, then I'm just going to apologize to everyone. I'll figure something out. I hope I can. Anyway, yeah. Because I will be paid. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everything is good. I have some leeway. I just got to be careful with my money. And luckily, I still have money from. So when I calculated my costs, I did not include the money that I currently have. So I was just worst case scenario planning. So. Woo! So yeah, that's just a lot of updates from the past 2 days. Like that. Oh yeah, that's why I couldn't stream yesterday, is because there was a blackout. So I was like, but yeah, that's what's been going on the past couple of days. It's been a wild ride. But yeah. All right, cool. Let's learn some languages. We're gonna learn some languages today. Boo. Alright, we got writing in Japanese.
D for decent. Yeah.
Wait, was my mic on? Thank God, I thought my mic wasn't on.